marriage. Cheers. How romantic. That's for you. That's for the that's for the back when you're doing all the back. It's in your face. Oh,
this is
you're
it.
gonna give me that. Yes. This is really nice. Rich, it's really weird seeing you here. You've got Rich's number. Okay. I can't believe how slim you are. You've just had a baby. It's so nice.
Yeah. Lots of Davina, Nicole.
Crazy. How old is Max now?
6 months.
But yeah. Really tickles. Your eyes look amazing. She is brilliant. Yeah, she's done a really good job. It looks stunning. There is nothing apart from absolutely gorgeous. Guys! Oh, Rich keeps following me everywhere. Bye. There we go. Really Ali's getting a sweat on. Ta-da! Leave it over the thing.
Do you need me to...
Haha. Leon, though, has to get the money. Are you kidding me? Leon's going to just cut down the back probably then. Where's the scissors?
So please don't tell me that halfway through the night that you want your corset bit sort of loosened or tightened up a bit, because
it will be scissors.
Yeah, I've got the knack now.
Yeah,
yeah,
no one can take it over. Brilliant. Thank God you've got nails as well, Ali. If you didn't have nails, you couldn't do that. Is this really your manicure?
No, it's not actually. It's just you need a bit of nail to pick the.
Yeah.
Emily's got a 6-month-old baby. Look at her.
Yeah. I'll explain when you get here. All right. Okay. Bye.
Ta-da.
Guys, oh my God. Okay, I can't look at myself again. That's the last time I'm going to do that. Oh, wow. Gorgeous. You shouldn't weep, you should. Oh my God, Kaz, you look absolutely amazing.
You look like a princess.
Aww.
Like that. Over stem. Pin starts off underneath. Starts underneath.
That's all right.
And it goes over.
How you doing? You alright?
I'm alright. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Very well.
Alright.
Yeah.
You all end all fine? Got something home? No, you're all right. Yeah.
Jenny.
Oh, thank you.
Other hand. We happy?
Everyone happy? Look alright? I told you I should know. Looks alright? Yes. Right.
This is where Auntie Caroline and Uncle Leon are going to get married. Yeah. Your daddy over there is part of it. So we're going to watch it and then we're going to go to the
Take a good look at the sober version. We'll be counting down through the day.
She was actually in the
I want to see all the stuff. Okay, mate, how you doing? Well, how are you? Good. Yeah, very well.
Doing good?
Justin.
Hello.
That's surprisingly flexible.
Kim. Hello, I'm Justin. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
I just love it.
And I've got the 920 trench, got in the
we've got to get an usher's photo.
Where do you want us? I'd normally say toilets at the back, but I think we'll be at the front. You will be front. Right, I think we're going over there.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like a social, you have to decamp at Milton Keynes, you have to slow train down Hampstead.
Lovely.
All right, brilliant. Thank you. Do you want the ring?
Not quite the same. When's the next big one? Hi, Dan. You all right?
Fantastic.
Hello.
Loving married life. I recommend it.
Yes.
No, not yet. Not yet. I'm working on it.
See, we kept up with you.
Yeah, it just keeps smiling. Hi. Hi. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Tricky. Try and do this on my own. Is it sort of pulled down, all sorted?
the girls on that's it. You're already there in front of me. That's fantastic.
This is going to be really funny.
You want to take the front and then I'll grab it.
Is there any dress
Under my feet.
No.
Hold a nail.
So ladylike. Whoa. Okay.
Are you wrapped in your veil? You are literally wrapped in your veil.
Shake.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
And it's sunny. I know. I love it.
Absolutely amazing. Oh, that's
Oh, look at it fly.
Yeah, do you want to
over to the left.
Do we need a wee? Did we hear?
Do you need a wing?
Stop.
Yeah, you've got a bit of green grass.
I think we'll sort it when we get in the door.
Do you need a wee? There is a wee by the
I wonder if I
decking.
should just do one anyway.
Right
now.
by the decking.
I hope this bit has no sound, Rich.
Sorry again, it has
Any what?
sound.
Oh, wee.
These are beautiful. Yeah, they smell amazing.
Yeah, lovely shade. Yes.
The sparkles that lovely in her hair underneath.
Can I s-
It should be me sorting you out, not you sorting me out.
Very nice. I see. Very nice.
Oh, is that? Oh, you've got attached, right? I understand what these are.
Yeah, I've got.
Yes.
Yeah, I was really telling
You need to adjust your thing
That's
like
alright,
that.
we can sort it.
No,
Do you
Oh
have
yeah,
a pen?
got
there?
that. Right there.
that's it, like that.
I can get around that.
That needs to go there. That's it.
Wow. I'm worried about cuddling you in case I ruin anything.
Just do the old.
A Hollywood kiss.
Oh.
You look awesome.
Thank you.
Just get out of the way.
That's brilliant.
Thank you very much. That is exactly what I needed. Well, that and that way.
I'm coming.
Oh, I've got to put my veil down, haven't I?
Oh, is that the whole
Oh,
thing?
yeah.
You can't. Can I just take one quick? Smile fixed her.
Oh, sorry, I keep getting put those down.
That's
I
right.
can't go past it.
It gets really warm under here.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
He's alright.
Well, these are the one, and that's.
Okay, we're here. I made it. Sure. He made it too. Just look, but do not touch. Right. Oh, the Johnny one. Okay. Right. You're supposed to put the veil down, so you should really have the veil up at this stage. So.
Just not look.
Right, now have a good look, see, it is definitely hers, not an imposter. Don't forget she's very good at PR, so it could be someone else. Okay, alright. Once she's composed herself, take the veil and very delicately put it back over her face, okay? Okay? Delicately. I'm saying that's how you let off the blah blah. We will let the ladies, if they want to, sort of
I'm alright.
Okay, so that's
I'm alright. Just a
okay,
bit.
Okay, well in that case we're now ready. So the groom will process in, and you've all got your, you know how you're processing in. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please be upstanding to welcome the first groom? He's on for
Please be seated, ladies and gentlemen. Well, my name is Rabbi Saunders, Arnold Saunders. I actually live in Manchester, which some of you may know is north of Watford. I'm the rabbi of the Higher Crumsall, Higher Broughton Synagogue in Manchester. I'm also Jewish chaplain to Her Majesty's Forces. Now don't worry, Leon and Caroline are not about to sign up for the forces. But I was, many years ago, in the 80s, the rabbi of the Wanstead and Woodford Synagogue here in London, in Essex. And during the years that I was in Wanstead and Woodford, Sue and her family and Alice, his late wife, Barbara, were members of the shul. And sadly, I was the rabbi of the shul at the time that Barbara, Caroline's mother, passed away. In 1986. And I was with her during her last weeks and months, and indeed when she passed away. And then, 2 years or so later, I officiated at the wedding of Sue and Ellis. During the time I was there, officiated at David and Michael's bar mitzvah, and my wife, who cannot be with us today, particularly taught Hannah at the Cheder. Ben, I think, was also in the Cheder towards the end, but was a little boy at the time. So you can see that my connection with the family goes back a very long way, and indeed is a very strong connection. We have literally been together through thick and thin, through sadly sad times and thankfully good times. We haven't seen each other for many, many years, until just over a year ago, when my wife and I met up with Sue and Ellis at Buckingham Palace, as you do. We were both guests, or all of us guests, at one of the royal garden parties. Myself particularly as Jewish chaplain to the forces, and I think I'm right in saying that Ellis and Sue were invited particularly because of Sue's work, is that correct, as a volunteer with the Met volunteer programme. And one thing led to another, and ultimately the family asked me, would I be prepared to come down from Manchester and officiate at the wedding of Caroline and Leon. And I said I would be delighted to do so. Incidentally, a rabbi often talks of marrying a bride and groom. But here we have to be a little bit careful because, of course, the groom and I have the same name, the same surname, Saunders. So we have to be a little bit careful just to make sure we know who is the groom and who is the rabbi, because we could say both of us are actually marrying Caroline, but in a different way. Since we last met up as a family, you've all, I think, all the children have got partners, and there are various grandchildren, and I've been very helpfully given a full list of all the names of partners and grandchildren, together with precise details of who is expecting twins, who is expecting or knows they are expecting a boy, and who is not sure what they are expecting. I think I'll spare you all the details, but suffice it to say that, please God, there are simchas in the air, and I'm delighted that that is the case. Actually, I think this is the second simcha of this year in the family, because earlier in this year, Ellis was awarded an OBE for his services, I think, to the music industry. Is that correct?
Afraid so. Yeah.
Pardon?
Afraid so, yes.
Afraid so. I know that sadly there are no grandparents with us, although Sue's parents, Renee and Stanley, are with us, thankfully, but not able to be with us today at the wedding. I'd like to welcome Leon's parents, Beverly and Peter, as well as brother Stin. Beverly and Peter have come even further than I've come, all the way from Spain. I hope that your journey here was a little bit smoother than mine. When Caroline was carrying her train round, and I admire the engineering there, it reminded me of my journey down because I nearly had to carry my train. I got a train down which was supposed to take me into Watford, but British Rail, or what we used to call British Rail, of course now it's the various associated parts, decided, despite it being a bank holiday weekend, that they were going to do engineering works. And we had to decamp at Milton Keynes, get another train to Hemel Hempstead, and there we were told to wait for a coach to Watford, at which point I decided to get in a cab. However, we've all made it. I mentioned, of course, the bride's dear late mother, Barbara Leah Sholem. I'd just like to say at this point that our rabbis tell us that the souls, parents, and indeed grandparents actually come down to the chuppah and participate in the joy of the occasion. And I know that, as well as the grandparents that your dear mother Caroline, I know you're so fond of, you were only a little girl at the time, she sadly passed away, that she is with you in spirit. And indeed, if I may say so, Caroline, that you have an even more tangible symbol of your late mother that I know that you have with you today under the chuppah. Caroline is actually carrying her late mother's ring. I think you actually had it sewn in to the dress, if I'm allowed to give out that secret. And I think, if I may say so, that shows the sort of person that Barbara obviously was and the impression that she left on her children. I think Caroline's life is not one, if I may say so, Caroline, that you're generally given to emotion, perhaps, in the business that you are, and in particular in your sporting activities. So for you to take this particular step today, I think is very moving indeed. Now, I understand that both families, particularly the bride and groom, are both very sporty, despite the fact that the groom is a Tottenham supporter. For the record, coming from Manchester, I'm a Manchester United supporter. Now, I know that the groom would like to offer his sincerest apologies to all his fellow Tottenham supporters for scheduling this wedding to coincide with a Tottenham match, which I think kicked off about an hour ago. I can assure you that this wedding was planned long before this season's fixture list came out. And I can vouch for that. So the groom, I'm sure, would like to apologise to his fellow fans. But Leon, I'm sure you would understand if some of your guests turned up a little bit late to the reception. No. I'm just looking down here at the various achievements of the bride and groom in the sporting arena. The groom has run 5 marathons, presumably not consecutively. He loves cycling and indeed has cycled the Pyrenees section of the Tour de France, and has actually persuaded Caroline to ride with him for the 55 miles of the London to Brighton bike ride. And Caroline not only practices yoga and cycles, but also apparently kickboxes. They also love to travel, and of course are both very successful in their particular fields. The other theme that I think runs through their lives, besides sport, is communications. Leon is a senior commercial manager at Vodafone, and I can tell you that my business phone from the military is a Vodafone phone. And Caroline is a group business director at a large advertising agency. Now, I've been given a list of some of her clients, but I shan't give them the publicity by reading those out. Interestingly, Caroline, I think you're probably not used to being sort of in front of the cameras, are you? You're used to directing, a bit like I'm doing today, shouting at the various people involved and getting everything done. So this is a really new experience for you, I think. But that's the way it is as far as today is concerned. Of course, the problem with being in sort of marketing and PR and so on is, Leon, you know, if Caroline says to you, "I love you, darling," you can never be absolutely sure if she really means it, or if it's just a marketing ploy, you know. But But I'm sure that she does mean it. And if Leon phones you up on his mobile to say I love you, you understand that is just his normal modus operandi of speaking. The other theme which I think runs through this family is one of caring for others, of voluntary work. I've mentioned Sue's voluntary work. Leon, I know in particular, has raised much money for charity through his sporting activities. And it's this with which I'd like to end, because I think this is particularly appropriate, if you like, as a bracha, as a blessing to the bride and groom. You're going to set up your home together. I know at the moment you've got a little flat in Hammersmith, which I've actually seen, but I know that you're looking for something a little bigger. And please God, you'll start a family, and you'll add to the, please God, forthcoming simchas, and you will build a traditional Jewish home which will be one run along the lines that your parents and your grandparents have shown you. And I know that both parents have instilled, both sets of parents have instilled religious values, and particular the concept of respect and consideration for others. Briefly, in the Sedra that we read this week, there is a very interesting passage at the end, and I won't go into too many details because it's very technical, but it concerns somebody who is found sadly dead, and nobody knows how he or she was killed. And there is a ceremony that has to be performed at the time to atone, if you like. And the rabbis, quite literally, of the town, have to make a declaration, and the declaration is our hands did not spill this blood. And the commentators wonder, what does it mean? The rabbis have to make a declaration. They are not responsible for this brutal murder. And Rashi, the greatest Jewish commentator of all, explains that it means we did not ignore him. He may have been, or she may have been, a traveller passing through our town. We didn't ignore them. We didn't ignore him and leave them to their own devices. We didn't not offer them food and drink. We can lift up our hands and say we offered them hospitality. And I think this is very important in this day and age. Of course, a young couple who set up home have to be aware of what we call the mitzvot, the commandment, bein adam lamakom, between man and God, Shabbat, Kashrut, and so on. But there is the other side, bein adam lachavero, which is equally important, caring for our fellow man, man in the generic term, not man as opposed to woman, caring for others. And this, I know that our bride and groom do in abundance, as indeed do your parents and members of your families. And my bracha to you as you stand here under the chuppah with your parents and your brothers and sisters, and welcome them all, particularly those who've come from afar. As you stand here under the chuppah, my bracha, my blessing to you, is to be mindful of this aspect of life, that we have to encapsulate, of course, all facets of Yiddishkeit, of religion in our lives, but in particular, that I know that you will look to build a house that will be a hospitable home, My late mother, Shalom, always used to say, there is a difference between a house and a home. And you will build a Jewish home in the traditional sense, and it will be a home where you will think of others, and please God, future children and grandchildren, and one in which will be a home in which you will give nachas to your dear parents and families, and that you will live together, please God, in health and in happiness for many, many years to come, and you'll be a source of nachas, of pride, to your dear parents and families. I wish you, on behalf of all present, much bracha, much blessing and nachas in your future lives together. Amen. Amen. Now we come to the ceremony itself, starting with the brachot, the blessings for the Birchat Erusin. You can follow in your little booklets. It doesn't give the brachot, but it tells you what we are about to do. If you have a siddur, you can find this on page 788. Now I'd like to ask the congregation to be upstanding at this point. We're going to pour some wine. Then I will make the two brachot on the first part of the chuppah, the Birchat Erusin. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Eloheinu melech haolam, Marei peri hagofen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvos v'tzivanu al harayes v'salomes harusses v'tilanu v'nozlanu al yidei chuba v'kiddushin Baruch atah Adonai v'kadesh amo Yisrael al yidei chuba v'kiddushin. Now for the focal point of the chuppah, where the groom gives the ring to the bride. I presume we have the ring. Now, given the bride's sporting bride's sporting prowess, I could ask the bride to kick the ring out of Leon's hand. But that might not quite fit in with what the Talmud says the groom has to give it to her. So I'm going to ask Caroline to put her hand out. Now usually when Caroline puts her fist in front of her, it's usually for slightly different purposes, but today it's going to be for a simple one. She doesn't, Brian says she doesn't do kickboxing in that dress. Right. The two witnesses are myself and Chazan Weisbart. Ask if this ring is yours. Okay, you take this ring. The groom will say the words after me, and Wise bar, word for word, which means, behold, you are consecrated to me with this ring, according to the laws of Moses and Israel. And you, Caroline, will accept the ring, and with that you will become his wife. Now the ring is put on the hand. Say,
Correct. At. Li.
Let's have that at. Zu. Kedat. Moshe. For Yisrael. Put the ring on the finger. Okay. Right, would you please sit down, ladies and gentlemen, at this point? At this point I read the ketubah, which is the contract between the bride and groom. It's written in the traditional Aramaic, and I'll read the substance in English. Und als lacht wir gewesen und fand sich sicherlich Hilchus Guvin Judain, volgen de moken zon van sin in Shehan Bekushta. Wird Savias Moras Gabriela besulte da, was lei de Intuv, den de Nuni dan alles neem bij Avua, den bekesset bij Bezal bij de Takshitin. Meer ze kukim kesset Sorof, Savia bleef gewoon gestanden aan wezen vlam in die lijn, meer ze kukim kesset Sorof. Gegeven kenegdan, Sachatol, Masai, ze kukim kesset Sorof. Rais gegeven stak sufte dan de doen je denkt dat sefte dat kibela lover bleef gaan ben Abraham gesanden aan. Gewoon koshit sufte sefte snagrim nas Israel. Hasso in kritikon khachamenu ze gewoon in vracha. De lokas macht de lok tussen de story. Kanina men bleef gaan ben Abraham gesanden aan. Moras Gabriela pas Eliyahu besulte da. Gewoon maar de gossel van voorsle el. De mannen de gossel met naya bij kosher in de kayam. Abraham ben Sviari Saunders aid. Nom Yehonason ben Shaul Weisbar aid. And in the English, which might be more understandable to many of you, on the first day of the week, the 28th day of the month Menachemav, in the Jewish year 5771, corresponding to the 28th day of the month August in the year 2011. The Holy Covenant of Marriage was entered into in Boreham Wood between Leon Hanan Saunders and his bride Caroline, Alex, Simone, Rich. That's Alex with an I, by the way. The bridegroom made the following declaration to his bride. Be consecrated to me as my wife according to the laws of Moses and Israel, and I give you my solemn promise that I will be a true and faithful husband to you, provide for you and support for you as a Jewish wife. And it's signed, bridegroom and the bride, Boreham Wood and Ulster United Synagogue, 28th of August 2011. Okay, please be upstanding now for the conclusion of the service with Sheva Barakah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Eloheinu melech olam, borei peri hagofen. Amen. Baruch atah Amen. Eloheinu melech olam, Yotzer Adam. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch hu Baruch Shemo, Eloheinu melech olam, Asher yatzar es Adam betzalmo, Metzelem demust anisot, vehiskin lo mimenu minyan radeyat. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer Adam. Amen. Sost asis besagen akara, ekibotz baneha lesocha v'simcha. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch hu Baruch Shemo, Mesameach Zion levanecha. Amen. Sameach tesameach, reim ahuvim, tesamechacha, yetzirecha, began Eden mikedem. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch hu Baruch Shemo, Mesameach chasan v'chala. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch hu Baruch Shemo, Eloheinu melech olam, Asher bara sasan v'simcha, chasan v'chala, ilarina litza v'chela, Shalom Bereyos Meheira Adonai Eloheinu Yishama Me'arei Yehuda U'v'chutzos Yerushalayim. Kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol kala, kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol kala, kol
Traditional manner, as mentioned in the booklet, okay?
Mazel
gentlemen. The bride and groom, as you can see, are going back to the bimmer where they will be where they will sign the registry books. At this point, the bride's sister, Laura Jane, I think that's the only one I've not actually mentioned, I think I mentioned Justin, didn't I? She is going to take over at the keyboard and will now play whilst the registry books are being signed. Please sit down, ladies and gentlemen, during the signing of the registry books, but please do try and keep it quiet as possible. Of course, you know who the bride and groom are.
The loads do a lot in touch with them, great. We went to
Right there. They're big lights.
might be on the other bus. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Make your way.
People upstairs.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, mate.
How was it?
Oh, brilliant fun. Yeah.
Irving, I shall treasure the look on your face in both directions. Derek. Yeah.
No. Oh, is she not? Maybe that is her. That might be her. I'll check where her bags are.
Hello. Okay.
You want to do them here?
Yeah, wherever.
We're going over here. Are you alright? Ashley's got my list.
Yeah, I am. Hello, lovely to meet you.
Should we start with Caroline's?
Right, Caroline, what shoes have you got on?
Right, let's go.
Hello.
Hello, Johnny.
Did you really just stop my photograph? Yeah, I wouldn't do that though. you asked for that.
You know the Trinity Car College, you don't you?
Yes, yes. And they were like, you don't know where you're going. Yes, we do.
We know where we're going.
That way, are you okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, we'll do it.
I'm quite sensitive to light.
And to one side, so you're not in the background.
Are you alright, Ashley?
If we can invite Mr. and Mrs. Saunders Senior. So siblings on. If we can invite you to occupy the side that you're related to, so bride's side here. Oh, wow. I need to leave them.
If Caroline just steps to one side.
Right, boys. Me and my homies.
Great. And it looks like most of you are putting your hands in front, so that's the one first. Is that okay? Oh, sorry. I'm trying to keep it warm. It's not football. It's not warm football, is it?
It's like a free kick.
Yeah. I didn't put my hands in front, right.
It's me, Caroline.
Yeah, go on.
Sweet, how old?
Hello, gorgeous. Hello. You just want food.
Oh,
So happy wedding.
that's right. We saw the.
Just inch it up.
No, we're missing.
By no means. This is wide
Glenn, any members of the Rich family, ladies and gentlemen?
David, Harvey.
Harvey as well, little Richard.
Where's Laura Joyce?
Where's Hannah? Where's Hannah?
We wasn't sure.
Smile, Caroline. Sorry! Oh, you can't stop us now with Maggie.
Emily said.
No, that's it. Yeah.
offload it onto an usher for a second.
Smile.
Thank you, Ian.
Sorry, shall I put my mouth in the middle that way?
That's it.
Done. Here, done. Done.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much for your cooperation, ladies.
Not so excellent.
It's still there. No kidding.
I know.
Oh, we fell for that one for at least 10 seconds.
Pass your tables, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
May we ask you please to stand. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the very great pleasure of saying Ellis and Sue, Peter and Beverly, ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to receive your guests of honor, the bride and the bridegroom. Everybody on the dance floor!
Come on!
moment.